Hey, this is Don Pryor, and I am the founder of Network Services Group and the co-founder of Michigan SEO Group. We have regular staff meetings at both companies, and we talk about day-to-day business, but we also try to talk about bigger picture items and principles and how to approach and think about things. And I wanted to share with you one of the things that we talked about at one of our recent staff meetings. We're right in the middle of this COVID-19 quarantine situation that's going on in Michigan, and everyone's all scared and concerned about, what's happening with all these infections, what's happening with the economy, is your family safe, is this safe, what's the government doing? And yet, still, we need to live our daily lives, and we want to do so positively and productively, and we don't want to have all this stress and angst. And I was listening to a podcast recently with Joe Rogan, and he was interviewing this guy who was a Navy SEAL, Andy Stumpf. And this Andy Stumpf, he was saying that, when I was in combat, I'm sitting here hiding behind a rock and people are shooting at me, and, how am I going to get up? How am I going to function? And he said it was his training that got him through that, and kind of what they teach those guys in the SEALs, or at least what this guy knew, was that if you think about this big circle, and it's your area of concern. There's this big circle and you're concerned about all these things that are going on, but a smaller circle in the middle of that is your circle of influence, things that you have some influence over and some control over. And even a tinier circle in the middle, like the bullseye, is your circle of control, things that you have direct control over. You control over how you react to things. You control what comes out of your mouth. The bigger circle outside of that is a circle of influence. Like, you can have influence with your family and with your friends and with people you meet. And then that larger circle, the circle of concern, is all these things that are happening out in the world that you probably don't have any direct control over. You don't really have any direct influence over, and yet a lot of people just sit around worrying about that big circle and don't do anything about those smaller circles where that's where you can do things, right? So my advice to my team was, start focusing on those smaller circles. Start that circle of control, the things you have direct control over, what comes out of your mouth, what you do with your time. You have a lot of control over that. And then you can expand that into that circle of influence, the people around you, and how you can benefit them and help them. And if you spend more time in those inner two circles and less time in that outer circle where you don't have any control, I think you're going to get a lot more stuff done. You're going to have a lot less stress. And I think you're just going to, it's going to set you up for more success than if you just sit around worrying about all these things that you just can't do anything about. So that was my advice to my team. I hope that helps you. Just trying to make it so that everyone can get through this and be as positive and productive as possible.